Howdy, one of y'all knows me, Voltage, and I think it's time about to finish this story. I, I've put a lot of effort into this thing, and actually, after this video's done, I plan to start working on part 2 of the story. Because, like, Phalanx, he's only been in prison by the end of this story, so let's see what happens. Yeah, 6-4. Phalanx, well, hello there, you 5. You finally made it to my dungeon. Phalanx is the boss who's in Umbreon. Voltage is like, he's silent. Kids, we need to end this. It's 5-on-1. You can't win. Phalanx, who said 5-on-1? Whistles a superior Raichu and Floatzel comes out from behind the trees. You notice this. I did a superior, the evolved form of Sniv, a Raichu, the fully evolved form of Voltage, and a Floatzel, the fully evolved form of Vortex. Why am I not surprised? Phalanx, if you want to get me, beat your superiors first. I got the superior, Sniv says. I got the Floatzel, Vortex says. Raichu's mine. All three charges toward their foes. Eve charges toward Phalanx, using assist to getting a bite. Phalanx uses Dark Pulse, sending hundreds of orbs flying into Eve, sending him flying into a tree. Gets back up with tons of bruises on his body. Sniv uses Iron Tail on Superior. Superior counters, pressing back the Leaf Blade, slowly overwhelming Sniv. Tries to get leverage, but is getting pushed into the ground by the Superior. Superior instantly stops using Leaf Blade, slicing Sniv across the chest. Goes flying back into a tree, but gets back up. Flashes to Voltage. Takes a massive Thunderbolt from Raichu. Raichu uses Dig, slamming out from under Voltage, sending him into the sky. Raichu uses Thunderbolt, sending Voltage flying to the ground, directly into an Iron Tail from Raichu. Flies into a rock, fainting, Voltage does. Vortex uses Ice Punch on a Floatzel. Floatzel counters with a Hydro Pump, then leaps into the air, sending an Aqua Tail into Vortex. Takes both hits, flying back, slamming into Sniv, who's still recovering. Both slam to a tree unconscious. Collapses after getting slammed into a Vortex. Eve, oh no, Sniv, Vortex, Voltage runs over them only to get hit by an Aqua Jet from the Floatzel, sending him slamming next to Voltage, knocking him out. This is only Chaos left standing now. Well, it looks like it's up to me. Uses Psychic on Raichu, Floatzel, and Superior, slamming them into each other. They all fall to the ground. Phalanx, oh please, did you think I didn't give you a foe? Whistles. Feels herself not able to move. A Mewtwo teleports into the opening as next to Eve, Voltage's eyes slowly open, with them glowing bright red. Mewtwo slams Chaos against tree after tree. Chaos takes massive damage, slams into the tree, then feels like you're holding her in place. Mewtwo stares at Mew, charging up a Hyper Beam. Mewtwo launches the Hyper Beam. Leaps away using Volt Tackle, slamming through the Hyper Beam into Mewtwo, who loses grip on Chaos. Chaos falls to the ground. Mewtwo slams into a tree with Voltage instantly on top of him. Unleashes a massive Thunderbolt, sending it from his tail into Mewtwo's head, instantly knocking Mewtwo out. Voltage did. Phalanx uses 4 Hyper Beams, all slamming into Voltage, who flies into a tree but gets back up, his eyes changing color to bright orange. This is him actually. He's actually in Berserk mode right now, which is a special ability, which basically gives him a massive power boost behind his moves, which is why he managed to completely obliterate the Mewtwo. But when his eyes go bright orange, he gains control of Berserk. Well, I'm in Berserk mode. See all his friends knocked out, no time to think. Turns around to see Superior, Raichu, and Floatzel. Floatzel uses the Hydro Pump. Raichu uses Dig. Superior uses Leaf Storm. Voltage moves so fast, he instantly behind the Floatzel using Iron Tail, sending it face first into the surfacing Raichu where Voltage once stood. Voltage leaps into the air using Surf, Fire, Thunderbolt into the surf, using Iron Tail on it, slicing into 3. Then using a Volt Tackle, charging through the middle surf, slamming into Superior, pinning him to the ground. The final 2 surfs. The first 2 surfs slam into Raichu and Floatzel. Floatzel goes flying into the air. Raichu goes flying back. The third surf rushes towards Voltage and Superior. Leaps into the air, shooting out the other side of the surf towards Floatzel using Iron Tail, setting it flying into a tree. Floatzel falls to the ground. Superior takes a massive hit from the lightning charge surf. Voltage charges towards the still recovering Superior, using Iron Tail, sending it back into the ground with a massive thunder putting it down. Turns to Raichu, who is looking at him with fear in his eyes. Raichu turns to run. Voltage uses a Volt Tackle on slamming into his back. followed by an Iron Tail sending Raichu face first into a rock. Raichu falls to the ground unconscious. Voltage turns to see Phalanx smiling. Took you long to control your ability. That's all I ever wanted. Actually, a little part of the lore is that you guys never noticed before, but Voltage actually used to have this Berserk ability back when he was in the Superior Guild, but he ended up hurting Phalanx in a fight because he lost control, and he ended up attacking him on accident. He never wanted that to happen, but so Phalanx's mission now has been to actually make Voltage learn control abilities, but he did it the wrong way because now he's possessed by a virus. I'll review the next episode. Never mind. I'm not gonna say what the virus is, but he's just possessed by a virus. Chaos slowly opens her eyes, opens her orange eyes to see Voltage standing with only Phalanx. Eats an overberry, teleporting to Eve. Gets 3 reverse seeds, giving one to Eve, one to Sniv, and one to Vortex. Charges toward Phalanx using Iron Tail. Phalanx, you're pitiful. Uses Psychic, slamming Voltage to the ground. Steps forward. No, he's not. We'll show our strength as a team, Eve says. Sniv leaps forward. Vortex jumps next to them. Chaos floats ready to fight. Voltage breaks the Psychic hold, leaping back to his friends. All 5 charge at once from different sides. Phalanx meanwhile laughs, spinning around using a Dark Pulse, hitting Vortex and Eve, who are too slow to dodge. Sniv uses an Iron Tail. Voltage slams an Iron Tail onto Phalanx's head. Chaos uses Iron Tail, slamming it against Phalanx's side. Phalanx uses Bide, sending all the damage back double. Sniv slams into retreat, instantly using Synthesis healing. Chaos counters well using Counter. Voltage flies back, unleashing a Thunderbolt at Phalanx. Phalanx gets hit, getting paralyzed by the Thunderbolt. Time to end this. Voltage charges every last bit of electricity he has into his body using Volt Tackle, slamming so hard that Phalanx that he can't stop. He continues slamming through a few rocks and a tree. Until Phalanx uses a point-blank Hyper Beam, leaving a giant crater inside in which Voltage lying, unmoving, and not breathing. Chaos screams, charging at Phalanx, using Psychic, slamming him into a tree. At the tree, launching Phalanx into the air using an Iron Tail on him, sending him back up into a Hyper Beam. Then Chaos charges into with Giga Impact, then uses an Iron Tail, slamming Phalanx back into the ground, leaving a crater. Phalanx gets back up. Is that all you got? Eve, I've seen enough. Let's end this. Leaps in there using a Hydro Pump. Sniv charges Phalanx. Chaos uses Hyper Beam. Phalanx, you don't understand, I can't fall. Leaps toward Phalanx using an Iron Tail. Phalanx uses Psychic, slamming Sniv into Voltage, who still isn't breathing. We need to end this now. I have a way we can win, but it's costly. Chaos says. Flies towards Phalanx, picking him up, flying higher and higher into the sky. Starts to do circles in air, flying higher, and then throws Phalanx back towards the ground. Phalanx bites Chaos's tail as they plummet towards the ground from 500 miles in the air, from 500 miles up. Looks down to the earth, closing in very fast, trying to teleport away. Phalanx bites down harder. If I'm going down, so are you, he says as he slams into the ground. The last thing Chaos sees is Phalanx collapsing as she feels her heart rate slowing. Having taken too much damage, she falls to the ground, not moving. Eve runs up to Voltage. Vortex runs over. Sniv is still knocked out on top of Voltage. Eve picks up Sniv, putting her on his back. Oh no, Voltage isn't breathing, Vortex says. Eve uses her RFC on Sniv. Wakes up to see Voltage in the ground. We need electricity to get his heart beating. Eve, use Assist. Eve uses Assist, getting a Thunderbolt using on a Voltage, who faintly starts breathing, and then gives him a Virus Seed. Voltage wakes up seeing Sniv, Vortex, and Eve. Where's Chaos and Phalanx? Sniv runs further into the dungeon to see Chaos on the ground, no longer breathing. Phalanx lying next to her unconscious. Charges over to Chaos using a Thunderbolt on her, hoping to wake her up. Chaos lays unmoving. Runs over using a small Hydro Pump. Voltage using a Thunderbolt on the Hydro Pump. Lies unmoving and not breathing still. It's no use. She's gone. Eve picks up Chaos's body. No, it's my fault. She's gone. If I could have taken out Phalanx, she wouldn't have done this. Sniv drags Phalanx by the tail. Vortex the Weasel. Let's go back to the guild. Eve runs ahead toward the guild infirmary. charges after Voltage does. Sniff struggles still pulling Phalanx. Runs towards Vortex runs towards Chaos. Eve drops Chaos on a bed. Sniff places Phalanx on the bed next to Chaos. And Auto charges into the room, seeing Chaos and Phalanx both injured in Phalanx's case. Phalanx is just injured, but Chaos, you're about to find what happened. Autono looks at Chaos and gasps, "This Mew is no longer with us. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do." Now I guess people wonder why it says 5 days later. In that time, lots have actually happened. First, Phalanx was imprisoned in a jail that'll be explaining in the next part, where he's escaped out of jail. But Chaos was also buried in the ground in the Dank Forest where she died. And we're about to see a lot happening right here. That's the final send-off for Chaos. Eve, Voltage, Sniv, and Vortex stand in the Dank Forest next to the fallen friend's grave. Eve, I never understood your motives and never really trusted you. I'm sorry you can no longer be on our team. You put everything to defend us. Thank you for your assistance. Salutes, Chaos. Sniv, I owe you everything. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. Thank you for everything, Chaos. I will miss you. I wish I could have known you better. Salutes, Chaos. Vortex, in case you put everything on the line to protect your friends, I'm sorry we couldn't do the same for you. I will never forget you. Salutes, Chaos. Now, Voltage, he actually the best connection with Chaos, so he actually has the saddest part of this. Chaos, I'm so sorry. I've known you for so long. I knew you ever since I came to this world. Yes, Voltage is a human, but he got turned to Pikachu and got sent to the world. You've been my friend for so long. I remember our first ever mission. Phalanx got sent to psychic fields to discover a disturbance. To see it was you messing with other psychic types, we talked for a while. I wish we could stay together longer. Stay together for more time. If it wasn't for me, you'd still be alive. I'll never forget you. Salutes, Chaos, with tears falling down his face. Chaos. Her ghost floats above them, while the others seeking to mourn her. She uses her last energy to say, lives always fade. No matter what, we will meet again. Thank you for being my friend. The end. I put so much effort into the story so far, and it's not done yet. I plan making this probably like 3 full stories to finish off this entire arc. This first arc, Chaos has faded away, and Phalanx has now been imprisoned. But in the next part, Phalanx will break out of jail, and they'll have an introduction of a new character. Well, if you guys in this have actually seen before, being Mayhem the Skitty. I'll actually show her lore right now, so you guys can see what happens with the lore concept. Mayhem, she is age 12, a gender female, species she is Skitty, ability Q-Charm, moves Water Pulse, Shockwave, Helping Hand, Heal Bell, Icy Wind, and Iron Tail. Region Taloria, which is based off the Guild of Tales kind of stuff, but I kind of had to use this because I wanted to use it on the server, so I had it based in Taloria, so I'm just using that kind of stuff. Status, she has been recently discovered hiding in Taloria City. Something about her seems off. Personality, she's very chaotic and loves to cause trouble. That might sound like someone, but she could fight very well for only being level 10. She was recently possessed by the ghost of a fallen Mew, giving her the ability to fight much better than a normal Skitty should be able to. But this Skitty will encounter 4 Pokemon who will give her a chance she's wanted for 2 years. She's a female shiny Skitty, wearing a lime green scarf on her neck with a sparkling orange eyes. Those descriptions are exactly like Chaos, because this will be the replacement for Chaos now, only possessed by Chaos himself. Chaos will possess Mayhem to take part in the fight. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I will see you next time.